I'm stuck. I've stopped growing. I'm not making any money. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm just losing my mind. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I have hit a plateau. Well, first of all, that's what we're going to cover today. So let's dive into it. Number one, when you hit a plateau, you have to know that everyone in business will hit a plateau at some point. For those that you are following and they're just skyrocketing to the sky, right? It's seemingly always simple for them. It's not. It's just that many entrepreneurs don't share that time in their business, which is kind of infuriating, especially as a mompreneur, because mom life is hard, entrepreneur life is hard, being a female and trying to have an identity is hard, and then combining them all, and we think we have to be perfect at everything, and it's just frustrating. But what happens when you're trucking along at a nice clip in your business and you're like, this is great, this is amazing, I love it, then brick wall, plateau. You have just evened out. You cannot seem to go up. You cannot seem to get over that hump, if you will. The number one tip is do not panic. This does not mean that you have failed. This does not mean that it's time to stop. This does not mean that you just have to like, I'm not good at this, and then just quit and walk away. That is not what that means. Hitting a plateau is very, very normal in businesses. It will happen to everyone. Even if you're not seeing it on the fancy socials, everyone will hit a plateau. Okay, so do not panic. Number two, what I want you to do is I want you to create long term goals. Now, I know all of the fancy books are like, create your 90-day plan, create your 180-day plan, create your 1 year plan, and then your 3 year plan. I want you to just chuck all that. Those are great. We'll get back to those in a different video. But for right now, when you are at a plateau, I want you to chuck it. I want you to create a very long term plan. And long term might mean 1 year for you, and that's okay. That is a long time in a mompreneur world, a long day in a mompreneur world. But create that long term plan. What will you do in that 1 year plan? Are you going to start a new platform? Maybe you want to start your podcast or a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to start a Facebook group. What is that long term plan, and how does achieving that look? What do you need to do in order to make that happen? What steps do you need to take in order to make that happen? When you've hit that plateau and you're craving, you are craving something. You are craving something new. You're craving something in, let's say, a different direction. I don't want you to completely pivot in an effort to just find something else. I want you to just pause, see what that year looks like, and then see what you have to do, what action steps you have to do in order to make those things happen. Okay. Stop thinking in the short term because you are not going to be an overnight success. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Can you make really good money in a short period of time? Yes. Is it sustainable for a long period of time as a mompreneur? Not necessarily, unless you have a really big team behind you. Okay. So stop thinking in the short term, start thinking in the long game because you're in it for the long haul. If you want to continue to succeed, you need to see those long term goals. Those short term goals will get you to those long term goals. But if you can't see that big picture, there's going to be a short window of time for your success. And I don't want to see that. I want to see you outlast. So make those long term goals and then make action steps to make those things happen. By making that long term goal and then setting small actionable steps to get there, you're going to move your business forward in an adjacent, if you will, direction. And then you will continue to see that growth because you have a new clear path of what you want to achieve and how you're going to get there. But I do, number three, want to impress upon you, you are not going to be an overnight success. It's not going to happen. All of those people right now who are selling you the 90 days to success, you can set up a business in 90 days, but as a mompreneur and to be sustainable, it's not going to happen overnight. And all of the people out there who are like, I made it in under a year, they probably, and I would put a lot of money on this, had a really good team behind them. And if that's not something that you can financially do right now, it is going to take you a little bit more time. And that's okay. It is okay to grow at your own pace. You do not have to keep up with the social worlds and the fabulousness that you see. 'Cause let's be real, I like that when the cameras turn off. So, what do you do when you hit a plateau? The number one thing is I don't want you to panic. I do not want you to give up. I do not want you to just full stop and just throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm done. I can't do it. It's not meant for this because you are. Plateaus happen to everyone, and it is okay. It is okay. So know that. Number two, I want you to stop creating those very short-term goals. I want you to create a long-term goal, and then I want to get steps to make that goal happen. Maybe you want to create a new course. Maybe you want to create a new program. Maybe you want to create a whole bunch of new items for your store. What do you need to do in order to make that happen? What small steps do you need to take in order to make that happen? Number three, you cannot be an overnight success. I know, so controversial. And that's okay. And I want you to be okay with that. Will you be a success? Absolutely. You absolutely will be a success if you are consistent and you stay at what you're doing and you keep investing in yourself, time, energy, money, and you don't stop. It's going to take some time to build your business, mama, but you can absolutely do it. And I want to see you succeed. So when you hit that plateau, which is inevitable, can you hit more than one plateau in your business? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to hit a plateau early on. You're going to hit a plateau once you've hit that really good stride. You're going to hit another plateau just as you get going. You're going to hit it. It's inevitable. Once you really start to scale, you're going to hit another one. And again, it's okay. It does not mean that you have failed. It just means that it's part of business and you can do it. I want to know when you have hit your plateaus or if you haven't yet. If you haven't hit a plateau yet, tell me below in the comments because I really want to see and show everybody here how very rare that is. But if you've hit that plateau, what is the biggest thing that you have had to deal with that plateau? Was it mindset? Was it dealing with the overcoming? What was that one thing when you hit that plateau that really just cinched you and you're like, oh, I just don't know? Did you let yourself panic? Because let's remember rule number one, don't panic. All right, guys, that's it for today. I will see you back here next week. Have a great rest of your week. And don't forget, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this.